Okay, folks, today I wanted to take a longer look at this guitar that I acquired about a month ago. It is a Martin D45 replica, let's call it. It is one of these guitars that is being built in China, commonly referred to a Gibson or a Chinese Gibson or a Chender if it's a Chinese-made Fender replica, or I guess you could call this a Charton, a Chinese Martin replica. It is a D45 style, and 45 represents the highest level of appointment that Martin makes. So this guitar is adorned with all kinds of abalone trim around the top of the guitar, abalone trim, abalone around the rosette, sound hole rosette, abalone on the back and sides, abalone around the neck joint, around the butt joint, and the traditional Martin hexagon abalone inlays. Now, I paid $250 for this guitar, so there is no way that this abalone can actually be real. The Guitar Luthier Supply Company, Stuart McDonald, sells something called Zip Flex, which is some sort of imitation abalone, purfling, binding, all that thing, all that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing that that's what this is. Although I think it's possible that the sound hole rosette is actually real abalone, because real abalone shell has a purplish tint and hue to it. And I can see that these are much smaller pieces. And I can't remember how many I counted. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10, maybe 1.5-inch pieces there. So that actually could be real. I can't seem to find any breaks or seams in the top binding or the binding around the sides and the back, which leads me to believe it's this stuff. Zip Flex, it's sold exactly for this reason. If you want that very classy, highly appointed look, but you don't want to spend the money because abalone is very, very expensive, that's where you go. Now, this guitar has a solid spruce top, and if you can see here, the grain is really wide. It looks like Adirondack spruce, but again, there's no way it can be Adirondack spruce. That's usually at least $1,000 upcharge when you have a guitar built or when you buy a guitar, a higher end instrument. And like I said, I paid $250 for this guitar. The back and sides are laminated rosewood. Now, this is actually really nicely figured. I'm guessing East Indian rosewood on the back and the sides. So it's very pretty. The neck is a 3-piece neck. I don't know if you can see the seam there. There's also a seam down the headstock. You can see where they grafted part of the headstock on. It's got gold Grover style tuners. It says Grover on them, but I doubt that they're real. When I got it, the saddle on this guitar was loose. I happen to have a Tusk saddle laying around, so I discarded the original one and I put this in. It fit perfectly. I just had to sand it down a little bit to get the action to where I want it to be. I like my action to be somewhere between low and medium, around maybe on the low side of medium. The nut appears to be plastic. It fits. It's a good fit, which is important. They didn't really do a great job finishing it because I can see tool marks on the top, but it's in there nice and snug and nice and tight. And when I got the guitar, it played okay. Like I said, I spent a little time swapping out the saddle and getting one in there properly fit. Made a noticeable difference in the sound of this instrument. Another interesting thing is when I got it, the strings were dead, which is the way I've encountered every single one of these Chinese knockoffs. So I took the guitar off, I cleaned it, and I oiled the fretboard with Music Nomad F1 fingerboard oil. And it's very interesting that it actually seems to have stained the fretboard in some spots. The bottom line is the oil was not completely absorbed by the fretboard wood in some spots. And there are spots, if it's hard to see, probably can't pick up on the camera, where it looks like the fretboard is a little wet or damp, but it's not. I have polished and rubbed the oil in and tried to get it out as much as possible. And it's interesting, it's very tightly grained rosewood is what they claim, but I'm not so sure it's rosewood because of the way it reacted to this fretboard oil. I have other guitars with rosewood fretboards, and you put the right amount of oil on it, you rub it in, you let it dry, and it goes away. There's no sign that there was any liquid on the fretboard. That's not true here. It's not horrible, but it's just something to take note of. And it doesn't have a bad sound. One of the other visual things is this pickguard. To a trained eye, you will obviously see that and go, well, that's not a Martin guitar. Martin does not make pickguards with that pattern or in that color. It's much too red to be a Martin pickguard. It sounds okay. It rings on and has a nice sustain, but it lacks the depth of tone that some of the standard Martins that I've encountered at Guitar Center in Wilmington that they have. Now, this guitar is on par with some of the other Chinese manufactured dreadnoughts we have in the store in the $6,000 to $1,000 range, but compared to a standard Martin D28, it's not even close. This guitar does not even compare. You're not even in the same league. Now, this guitar is definitely young. It's probably only been a guitar for maybe 6 months, if that. So it needs to be played and broken in. They said it had a nitrocellulose lacquer finish on it, and I think it does. When I got it, it had that familiar nitrocellulose smell. It was off-gassing, and it was kind of like toxic fumes. I opened it up and went, ooh. I literally just naturally pulled my head away because it stunk like a new guitar with new nitro finish on it. Now, for $250, it's fine. It's a great guitar. Is it something that I would gig with or record with? No. Maybe in a few years if it opens up. But it's a great guitar to have lying around the house. It's a great guest guitar, and it's a great vacation guitar. More specifically, I wouldn't hesitate to take this guitar out to the beach and leave it lying in the sand or on a blanket in the sand. Wouldn't think twice about it getting wet or getting sandy or dirty or anything like that. Not that I'm going to go out and use it as a canoe paddle, but you could use it as a canoe paddle and you wouldn't really be out any significant money. Having said that, I'm happy with it. I know how to set guitars up, so I put the new saddle in. I adjusted the truss rod. The fretwork is fine on it. A lot of people say that these Chinese-made knockoffs, the fretwork is subpar. This is the fourth one that I have purchased. This is the first acoustic I have gotten, and I buy all these from Bad Cat Instruments, all through Facebook Messenger. You have to get invited to join their group. Once you get in, once you're approved by the moderator, they text you, they Facebook message you links, sale links to buy these instruments from badcatinstruments.com. They claim now that they have a warehouse in the U.S. So I bought this guitar, I believe, in July. It was very much an impulse version. I was looking at Facebook on my phone, and I got this sale link, and I scrolled down, and I found the D45 replica, and I bought it. And these nice higher-end acoustic guitars, like this Martin copy of a D45, or they're copies of a Gibson 200, they sell out very quick, like within minutes when they post the link, the sale links. So if you're interested, you got to get yourself into these Facebook groups. And this was really just a luck of the draw impulse purchase for $250. Why not? Like I said, not a bad guitar. It's my only Dreadnought for now. It's fine. Just fine to sit around the house jamming with other people. It looks really pretty sitting on a stand in the corner of my living room, and perhaps that's the purpose that it serves the best. That's it. These are nice guitars. $250. Why not? Here's a little bit more of a sound sample. I'll just run through some more open chords and whatnot. That's it. Not a horrible sound. I have one of those tone right vibrator things to put on it. I haven't had a chance to put it on and let it sit for 5 days. I'm hoping when I do, that will help the sound open up. Overall, this is a very young sounding guitar, and I think that it just needs a little bit of time. And I'm not expecting it to sound like a Martin or be anywhere near that category of acoustic guitar tone. But for $250, nothing wrong with it. All right, that's it. Thanks. Any comments or questions, put them up there and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thank you for your time. Ciao.